Hey, what's up, guys? I'm just coming to you real quick today. This video is a little bit late. I wanted to drop it earlier, but I couldn't. I had things going on. But I wanted to talk about Charlo versus Kovalev, or I think that's how you pronounce it. Jermall Charlo, in my opinion, got away with it. I mean, I honestly thought Kovalev won the fight. You know, Kovalev obviously didn't have the power to put Charlo in trouble, but he landed the cleaner, more effective punches and he controlled the fight. Charlo, in some of the rounds, looked like he was just completely gun shy. Like he just looked like he had nothing to throw. He looked like he had nothing to give. And Kovalev made him miss, and he made him pay. He surprised, in my opinion, I think he surprised a lot of people. A lot of people thought Charlo was gonna run through him, knock him out. He's a come out of nowhere fighter kind of guy, a replacement fighter. But in my opinion, I think he did enough to win. I think he controlled the fight. The only round you can give to Charlo for sure is that 12th round when he hurt Kovalev. But other than that, they were close rounds. And some of the rounds, in my opinion, you could have gave any of those rounds Charlo won to Kovalev, because in every single round, Kovalev was controlling the pace. It seemed like he was always landing that straight left. I'm gonna keep saying that straight left throughout the whole video because that kept landing and Charlo never adjusted. And that brings me to another point. Charlo got exposed. And that's going to be a problem. Because now everybody knows what lands on him constantly is that straight left or a jab if you're a right-hander. That will land on him. A strong straight left, a strong jab will land on him like nothing. It will land on him continuously. That's what it proved it a couple nights ago. I was going to say last night, but it was actually the previous night before last. But I mean, it's pretty ridiculous. Those scorecards being so one-sided to Charlo. And is it surprising? No. There's a man coming to another man's. I think it was his hometown. I think they were fighting in their hometown. Coming in the hometown. He's a replacement fighter. Nobody really knows about him. I mean, and he didn't knock him out. And he didn't completely stun him. I thought I saw a couple times where Charlo looked a little bit wobbled, but he never really hurt him. He wobbled Charlo a couple times, but he never really hurt him. And when you're, and I'm gonna talk about that in my next video about the brother Jermall Charlo with that stuff. But this was definitely not a good night for the Charlo brothers. One being Jermall. Jermall got robbed, and Jermall got away with the robbery and got exposed. And he knows I guarantee in his mind, even after that 12th round, he was thinking, "Oh man, this is I can't get away with this." Not only because of after what his brother went through, but because of what he just went through in the ring with Korobov. I mean, I just seen it on the shorts. Korobov or whatever. But yeah, I had the score. I believe I had the score 115, 113. I don't know, man. I'm not a mathematician, man. I think I had a 115, 113, but I gave Jermall that 12th round. But the thing is, the reason why I did not give him a 12-8 round was because Kovalev again made it a close round at the end. Even though I still distinctly thought Jermall won that round, Kovalev still came back with straight lefts, jabs, Good movement, controlling of the ring. Just rewatch the fight. I haven't rewatched the fight, but I probably am, and I might do a follow-up video. But what I remember was Kovalev was controlling the fight, landing the straight lefts, moving, looking good, being a good boxer. He wasn't running away. He wasn't being tentative. He was throwing a lot of punches, landing a lot of punches. And in my opinion, it was a robbery. I forgot the scorecards, but I know there was one that was super wide. One of them scored for Jermall Charlo 119 to whatever that would be. I've never heard that kind of score with a fight like that. That was outrageous. And the announcers were just kind of brushing it off like, okay, like, is this really what boxing has come to? It's terrible. Boxing has came to terrible scoring and making up for another score. Those judges knew that Jermall should have won the previous fight. So maybe they're going to make it up for the brother, even if he loses, which is what happened, really. And it's sad, but it's true. Korobov did enough to win, and he should at least have the respect of having a close scorecard. Not a score with 119 for Jermall, which I don't have any idea how you can give him. But you know what? It is what it is. At the end of the day, he probably won't get a rematch. He might, but he probably won't. Jermall is gonna move on to something else, because why have a rematch with a no name that can hurt you, or that can outbox you, when you can go fight another guy with a bigger name, who isn't as skilled as Korobov? Because I have utmost all respect for Korobov. I never heard about this guy, never seen him, and he had a great style, and he froze up Charlo for the majority of the fight. And then in that later round, 12th round, those couple of those later rounds, Charlo started to catch on. But earlier, the whole time, Korobov had him in control. I didn't see him win any of the first 6 rounds, and prove me wrong. I didn't see him any. I didn't really see him. I mean 5 rounds. I didn't mean 6. I didn't see him win any of those 5 rounds. And a lot of the mid rounds went to him too. And you know what? I'm gonna stop blabbering, but it is what it is, man. Utmost respect for Korobov. Jermall got lucky. He got away with it, but it's not his fault. It's not his fault he can't defend that straight left that landed about 1,000 times the whole night. And the judges, I guess, just can't see that. But it is what it is. S2HSPSD and boxing. You hate it, love it. Sometimes you just can't get enough of it. But there's still robbery. And peace and love.